Hello, everybody. Buddy Web Midland, Texas. This Facebook post I did today, I think you'll find interesting. Here you can see where I said the Midland Police Department has been calling crime victims crazy to cover up crimes and murders. I tagged them on it, and then I'm going to show proof here, and so it's not a theory. That's what you're going to see. In October 2008, Mike Lawhon, the previous owner of my home, died, and I was told that he was telling his friends that people were breaking into this home. Okay, there's a whole longer story about Mike Lawhon, but I believe he was murdered here, taken to Fort Worth. Okay, and so here, a friend of a friend wrote me and says he felt like there were people that were in his house. He knew people were breaking this house, so people were breaking this house before they even sold it to me. Okay, and he was reporting the same crimes he did before he died. Okay, I was told that the police were calling Mike crazy, and I tried to get the police reports for this home during that time, but I was denied access to them by the City of Midland and the Texas Attorney General, Greg Paxton. Okay, here's the first responders request number, and I told them, I said, this 27-year-old father died a few weeks before I bought this home, and I suspected that he was murdered by the same people who shot me. I wrote this to the City of Midland, and they denied me access to them records. And like I said, I was told that they were calling him crazy, but before that, I started reporting crimes, and they called me crazy. In January 2011, I called the Midland Police, and I reported somebody in my attic, a burglary of habitation. That's a felony. The police didn't investigate and called me 1096, aka crazy, on the police report. And here it is. This is the police report. Can't hear the noise, so he blocked the attic right here. Complainant is holding his 9mm in a closet with a shotgun. Anthony Corson is now the head over internal affairs. Okay, and then here, complainant 1096. 1096 is mental patient crazy in police lingo. And that was, here my first call. I was a 28-year company man, granddad, homeowner, and they're calling me crazy. Okay, in September 2011, the ex-wife made a recording where she admits to being a witness to the crimes of my home and then admits to trying to extort money from me over them. She threatened to tell everybody I was crazy if I didn't pay her. We're going to listen to this here.
In the world can you know and say that somebody's coming across the attic and breaking in the house and turn around and go, here's what you're going to do. You're going to pay me $1,800 or $1,200 a month, or I'm going to lie about everything that I've seen and tell everybody you're crazy. You're the only one that was going to make money off the house. Does that tie you back into the
truth of the matter? Is that's what Greg suggested.
And how in the
That's what Greg suggested. In January 2012, I was shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut and burglar alarms going to the attic. The police claimed that I'd shot myself and that I was crazy. Okay, I'm going to show you here. This was the nurse's report, and she was documenting what I was saying minutes after I'm shot. There's sirens going off. The alarms are going off. I got a voice recorder recording what's happening. I was talking on a voice recorder in case something happens to me. I had proof. Just go look. There's proof. And the police went and stole the voice recorder. That's what happened. Detective Rosie Rodriguez was in the room when it happened. She knew. And then Rosie Rodriguez, she made up her own story. She didn't know the nurse was recording it. Says, I contacted Buddy. Buddy stated he's locking up for the night and knocked over his gun, shot himself. Buddy was delusional, and she also said he crawled out because his phone wasn't charged. No, I crawled out because they cut my phone lines before they shot me, and she knew that, Okay. Here we go. In December 2012, a protective order was filed against me by the ex-wife who I hadn't seen or talked to in 18 months, and she lived 100 miles away in Lubbock. At the protective order here, she testified that I was delusional, as did her lifelong friend, MPD Detective Rosie Rodriguez. She had told me that if I didn't pay her, then she was going to tell everybody that I was crazy. That's exactly what she did. That, thanks to this aggravated felony perjury, I got a lifetime protective order which took away my right to own guns for life. That left me disabled, defenseless, and criminals being allowed to break into my home and threaten my life. They made a mockery of the justice system. I'm going to show you the transcript from the court case, from the protective order hearing. This is testimony by the detective, Rosie Rodriguez, who we found out in court was a lifelong friend of the ex-wife. They'd went to elementary school together, It says, did Mr. Webb seem delusional? And Rosie Rodriguez says, that's how I described him in court, And then the ex-wife, who had tried to extort money from me and said she'd tell everybody I was crazy, she says, he was very delusional, and he believed that I was a part of a conspiracy against him. He believes people in the attic, right? You know, oh, you got to be crazy if you think people in the attic. Ain't that funny? In January 2013, I heard a call on my police scanner for a homeowner on Story Street who's reporting people in the attic. The police could look this up and find that. They were calling this crime victim crazy. I sent myself an email to document it. This is the email I sent to myself, okay? June 27, 2013. So just if the police want to look up June 26, 2013, 5 o'clock, heard a call on the scanner, a homeowner saying there was intruders in the attic. The female dispatcher stated a possible 1096, which is a mental patient. They're doing the same things to these other crime victims that they're doing to me. I went and spoke to this man. I was absolutely convinced he was telling the truth, that there were people in the attic. In January 2019, a guy on YouTube that goes by That Chapter made a smear video about me called Buddy Webb and the Disturbing Tunnels Under Texas, which was seen by over 2.5 million people. That's the first thing you'll find if you Google my name. He focuses on the lies told by my ex-wife and her friend, Detective Rosie Rodriguez, who, while admitting the evidence that shows I'm the crippled victim of my home invasion and premeditated murder attempt. He said Buddy Webb's insanity diarrhea that he spews on his YouTube channel. Here, listen to this. Guy makes a video in January 2019. This guy makes a video on YouTube called Buddy Webb and the Disturbing Tunnels Under Texas. That chapter had 2.5 million views. And here's what he said. I'm going to show you.
Buddy Webb's insanity diarrhea that he spews on his YouTube channel. That doesn't.
In January 2019, in April 2019, I heard another call on my police scanner where the dispatcher said, it's going to be a 1096 female Viola advising she thinks there are people inside her attic. Let's listen to this one. That's because there are people in her attic. Yesterday, I posted a video called Home Depot Parking Lot Full of Cars Late at Night, and a guy named Polish People Rock wrote, pretty sure you should speak with a trained professional. And I wrote, I'm pretty sure that you're trying to smear my name to cover up the 4 murder deaths that Aaron Packover said happened here before they cut my phone lines and shot me. And he said, you really are crazy, And it's still going on. They're still calling me crazy right now with 50 other homeowners documenting reporting people in the attic. Multiple people documenting saying tunnels, underground homes are here. A map, proof showing I wasn't shot with my gun, The names of the secret police identified by a private investigator. And they're still calling me crazy. You really are crazy in the public as of yesterday, okay? I think that guy needs to be investigated. Okay. What is crazy is calling people crazy to cover up multiple murders. Aaron Packover told me there have been 4 people murdered, died here before they cut my phone lines and shot me. This guy is a Freemason here in Midland and was a business owner. He says, but if I can ask, there were 4 people who were murdered, died in your house. What are their names? I don't know their names, but I bet he does. If police would ask him, I bet one of them was the previous owner. Okay. And sadly, I've also had people in my own family call me crazy when I'm the crippled victim of a premeditated murder attempt. My former mother-in-law told me that I wasn't invited to her and my dad's wedding because she didn't want an insane person there. This was my dad and Ann Calloway's wedding. There's my brother. And says Ann Calloway wrote, said, my name is Calloway, and VJ Calloway will not appreciate these accusations you're throwing around. I advise you, big boy, you better be making some back statements. PDQ. See you, by the way. I didn't want you at my wedding. That's the main reason you're not invited. It's one of the happiest occasions in my life. I didn't want some malicious, insane person there. Can you imagine that? I'm the victim of a murder attempt, and that's family. And Ann Calloway, who happily built my Hobbs home that I now think's rigged, had people in the attic, she continued to smear my name online. This is a screenshot I took. I think these are people in her family, This guy here is Seth Park. This dude's a nut, Ann Calloway, my mother-in-law, and then become my stepmother. He's a very sick man and needs prayers, And can you imagine that? This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. That's how they're covering up this organized crime, racketeering, organized crime, burglary, theft, and murder. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.